What brand is overpriced, not worth the money? Old Navy. Their prices used to reflect the mediocre but good enough quality. Now they got big in the head and inflated their prices way beyond their worth. I'm not spending $40 on a shirt that will pill and shrink after a few washes. I learned to never buy Old Navy at full price. And prices in stores are always higher than online. Reddit Gold. Nice try. Mr. Clean Magic Erasers. They are called melamine sponges and are cheaper. Don't waste your money on the name brand. Edit. I agree that the quality isn't 100% the same. But in my experience, the ones I've bought that don't come from China are way better. You will go through them faster, but the bulk quantity makes up for that. Credit to Nikita Fozzo for their comment. When I worked at Walmart, I noticed that the house brand Great Value versions were stamped with a BASF logo on the box and were made in Germany. The Mr. Clean versions were also MIG. I don't shop at Walmart anymore. But I would definitely pick the house brand up over Mr. Clean. Seriously though. You can buy 9 magic erasers for $7 or 100 melamine sponges for $5.50. I know it doesn't happen everywhere, but Zara clothing is ridiculously expensive in Latin America and their quality is just average. Zara made the best fitting pair of jeans I've ever owned. Like they were tailor-made for my body. But they ripped from wear after only a year. In the butt, lol. Raycons and everything advertised on YouTube for that matter. Oh man, I just love playing Raid Shadow Legends with my Raycons in. And drinking full while leaning back in my Secret Labs chair. Not a brand. But once you own a few spices, every spice blend feels like a pure rip-off. Yeah sure, I'll pay $6 for 60 grams of salt, pepper and a few herbs mixed in. Know someone who used to run a small spice company and can confirm you can get most spices in 55-gallon drums wholesale for a few $100 or less. So yeah, that little jar of steak seasoning has about 3C of actual product. Anything labeled with Byron Bay, X, company. I doubt this is as much of an issue in countries outside Australia and maybe in New Zealand. But so many brands label their shit as Byron Bay something or other. It's almost always trash. Byron Bay Cookie Company being a notable exception, but also probably one of, if not the first to do it. Otherwise it's just an attempt to capitalize on the name of a tourist town that any area local will tell you is a shithole that's only good for trying to hook up with European backpackers. Only good for trying to hook up with European backpackers. Well, then it sounds like I need to start up the Byron Bay European Hookup Company. Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass. $60 to pay emulator games? Yep. No thanks. Beats. Dude, I got Beats after using Bose and they literally just hurt my ears. The sound was so harsh. Bose sounds like silky smooth velvet. Anything Jenna Kardashian. I don't know who buys that overpriced shit. Doc Martens. They used to be super tough. Now they suck and you pay for the brand. Look up, NPS Soliver, https://UK, npssoliver.com. Made in the old DM factory in Wollaston, Northamptonshire. They have the right to use the original Goodyear welt sole, https://UK, npssoliver.com. Blogs news the Goodyear welted method. I have a 4-year-old pair of dealer boots. Paid about £150 in the factory shop and they're still going strong. If you miss the way DMs were, these are the way to go. I have a Yeti mug and I have a Walmart Ozark Trail mug. They look identical and keep my drinks insulated exactly the same. Every Yeti product I've seen has a duplicate that is one stroke for the price. I don't think I'd ever shell out for Yeti. The 2 mugs I have were gifts. I have an original Stanley thermos mug still in the box. My grandpa bought 2 way back when. Only ever used one and my dad still uses it nearly every day. Monster cables. I was a cable TV internet service guy for a few years. One of the first thing they told us was when we were trying to track down a signal problem. Eliminate the monster cables first. About a third of the time that's what it was. The coax jumpers we made ourselves were nearly 100% reliable. The other cables for other things were just cheap stuff in clear plastic bags. We sometimes had trouble with them, but it was rare. Not only are monster cables terribly overpriced, they are utter garbage. Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, and Sanofi are the 3 largest producers of insulin. They are currently killing diabetics in America and worldwide because their little oligopoly keeps raising the price. The price has tripled in the last decade and is now on average between $200, $500 month for a patient. Removed. Edible arrangements. It's fresh fruit. Cookie cutters. Skewers. And about 30 minutes of work. Buying one is a terrible idea. But making a basic one is super impressive to most people, and anyone with basic kitchen skills can do it. Making one and then immediately eating it is also a fun couples activity. Vancouver real estate. Vancouver and Toronto prices have started branching out to other parts of Canada over the last 2 years, and it sucks. The prairies are pretty much the only place you can still find real estate that's been rising at reasonable rates. Balenciaga. 100%. Cannot believe what people spend on the ugliest stuff I've seen. I've read an explanation of why luxury fashion has gone so wacky. If they make a pleasing looking, quality made product, the fast fashion brands can just copycat the design and make their own products super cheap and in great quantities. But if they make wacky stuff, it's harder for the fast fashion brands to move them in volumes. Not a problem for luxury brands. As long as a few rich people buy these high margin items, that's enough for them. La mer. You mean to tell me that sea kelp is not worth $175 ounce? Supreme. I used to be super into hype clothing and brands, and let me tell you, every single time I got Supreme it was always shit. The shirts are super thin and feel worse quality than Joe Fresh. And X200B. Wasted thousands in my early 20s on that shit. Does anyone really buy a Supreme shirt thinking this cotton should be particularly resilient and comfortable? Always seemed like buying Supreme was always a meme about pointless excess. Supreme. Mayo and Korea. Everyone sells copycat Supreme on the street for super cheap. They do it so frequently that the logo and materials are perfectly replicated. I actually just bought a fake Supreme fanny pack for $10,001 $10 last week. If you actually purchase legitimate Supreme in Seoul, it's a total waste of money. You could find a perfect replica on the street for 1/10 of the price. Grimacing face. Eileen Wear. To be fair, sometimes they actually have decent products. Sometimes. I was looking for a monitor with very specific specifications and or had the only one that properly had all of it. I was looking for a very high refresh rate Xsync Ultimate monitor at 1440p. Edit for anyone wondering, it was an or 2721D. Starbucks. I live in India and the price of their coffee over a local coffee stall, especially in South India, is roughly 20x. No, not joking. It's fucking 20x the cost in a country where people have trouble affording the cheap one in the first place. What a fucking ripoff. And X200B. Edit. Typo. I can't survive without my coffee, and a 500-gram packet of good South Indian filter coffee is almost the same price as cup at Starbucks. That powder literally lasts me at least 2 months. Starbucks is practically useless for Indians apart from the ones who dive into the hype. And honestly, if people really want to buy expensive coffee, there are so many local cafes that sell amazing quality coffee for less than half the price. Weeks, not months. Really anything marked up as all natural. Fucking FIFA. Beats by Dr. Dre. They look nice. But at that price point, there are better options for headphones. Beats by Dr. Dre. Beats by Apple. Yankee Candle. I can find better candles from local hobbyists for cheaper. Hell, I make them for cheaper. Jan Levinson. Is that you? Gucci. It's designed by rich douchebags with poor taste in clothing. For rich douchebags with poor taste in clothing. I was going to say made by the rich douchebags. But let's be real. They more than likely outsource the actual manufacture of the product to Chinese child sweatshop laborers. Pretty much. Last I checked, they're made in southern China, especially the $700 sneakers. Burberry is in the same boat. Work in fashion on the manufacturing software side. Needless markups. I mean Neiman Marcus. Luxottica. So essentially almost all sunglasses. Fucking monopoly right there. Louis Vuitton. Any brand who decides that they wanna cover up part of a comfy article of clothing with a brand name and charge more. I'm okay with pictures but not the brand names. Most trendy brands. Gucci. Louis Vuitton. Other shit like that. Ugly ass clothes without even a good design. Just the logo slapped on, but yeah, it's a flex to spend $1,000 some on it. There's two different types of Gucci. That stuff which is, in comparison, not as expensive, and is ugly as sin. And the actually well designed, beautiful Gucci, which is also even more expensive. Starbucks. There are reasons they haven't been as successful in Australia. We have much better coffee available everywhere. Beats. They just sound like shit when compared to headphones even well below their price point. Maybe a different take, McDonald's. You used to be able to get a crap, but filling meal on the cheap. I remember when my family would stop on road trips, family of 5 for under $35.40. Now it's damn near $10 a single meal. And the food quality has not improved. Good point. McDonald's used to be a cheap meal. Not so anymore. Some of your favorite name brand alcohols may be bottled and sold as different store brand alcohol. Especially at places like Sam's Club and Costco. Apparently it's the same for some makeup and other things too. They're made exactly the same but put into both name and store brand packaging. Don't waste money on the name brand if you can find one of these. Edit. Just wanted to put it out there for some people in the comments saying the same things. I don't mean the alcohol is made in the same place and that makes it the same alcohol. I mean the name brand, Bacardi, Crown Royal, Cruzan, etc. makes the alcohol and then bottles it as store brand. It may not be exactly the same, but it's almost exactly the same and usually about half the price. I actually had this with expensive drinks in bars. I used to collect vodkas and can actually taste the difference between different kind of brands. Paid €8 for a glass of Beluga vodka and just got cheap vodka. Went to the bar and he told me nope, see. Here's the bottle. It was almost empty, so I asked him to open up a new one. Telling him I'd pay. He told me he can't, since it was the last bottle. That was the confirmation they just refill the same bottle over and over again with cheap vodka. Absolute scam. I want the opposite of this thread. There was a thread a while back about what is an item you always get the branded version of, and the unanimous answer was Lego. Balenciaga, man. They have some of the most basic trash I've ever seen selling for hundreds. They have a black shirt that says Balenciaga on it selling for $650. Like WTF. Make something nice for fucking over $200. Philip Lean. Five Guys in the UK. It is a decent burger but not worth the £15 for burger and chips. That's £3 a guy. Swarovski. It's just glass. Of course it's glass. Swarovski are also the best quality costume gems on the market. You can machine wash those motherfuckers and they stay set. Every house in Austin. Every house in Ontario. Name brand cereals. Big bag of mulled oatmeal cereal is cheaper and tastes better. And more creative. What if we added marshmallows to our Fruity Pebbles knockoff? Do it. I agree apart from Cheerios. Off-brand Cheerios always taste like sawdust. Gibson and I stand by that. Edit. Thanks for the upvotes. Thumbs up with light skin tone. Drunk elephant. Modern Jeep. Because Jeep is owned by Fiat. Some of the new cars coming out are built onto Fiat systems. The Renegade is basically the large Fiat 500 chassis and some other bits in a Jeep dress. Pampers nappies are so expensive and they are just the same quality as the Asda nappies. Mountain biker here. Santa Cruz, the bike brand, do higher-end bikes that cost more than their high-quality counterparts such as Commensal. Specialize in Forbidden as well as Yeti, although more expensive. With Santa Cruz you get the same if not worse spec for a more expensive price. It's more a thing a certain group of mountain bikers buy to be cool and be part of the Santa Cruz hype. I've never seen a community love the game but rail on the company more than a Warhammer 40k. And the other Games Workshop miniatures. I know artists gotta get paid. But $66 for 3/4 tall minis is insane. Especially when you need 3 of those boxes to field a decent unit gameplay wise. A standard army to play full-size games will run you hundreds. Did I mention Games Workshop is the biggest company in the wargaming industry? They use that to charge whatever they want. I swear they throw darts at prices on sticky notes for some of these boxes. Monster, as in cables. Land's End. Apparently they used to have a good enough reputation to be one of the very few things left from Sears. However, like Craftsman, it's now just cheap, poorly fitting junk not worth spending anything on. My kid's school switched to them for a uniform provider, so I have no choice. However, the service was abysmal and the clothes are paper thin crap. For nearly the same price as the much better stuff from the local chain previously used. Beats by Dre. Worst headphones. Next to Skull Candy. Treat yourself to Audio-Technica. Sony. Course. etc. I always love Sennheiser and dread the day they realize they can cash in on their name. Sony never really impressed me that much for the price. I think it depends more on what you buy from what brand. Dior t-shirt for £200? Absolute rip-off. Dior fragrances, high quality. Worth the money. Generally speaking, I would say the worst offenders are Balenciaga, LV, Nike Jordans, Adidas Yeezys. In fact, I would say most trainers' sneakers are overpriced nowadays. Even basic shit like Converse All-Stars will run you £50.60 in the UK. Yeah, real talk. Fragrances are worth the splurge in my opinion. Cheap fragrances smell cheap. Even ones that smell similar to the ones they're imitating usually just imitate the top notes well, and then when the fragrance matures throughout the day, the low notes either smell different and bad or it just wears off entirely. I'm generally really thrifty, literally buy most clothing second-hand, but perfume I'll shell out for without a second thought. Not Carhartt. That shit is made of iron. I've had a Carhartt jacket that I picked up for $20 at their outlet store. They have a factory here and connected to that is an outlet store. They sell the stuff that didn't make it through QC. The jacket I have is supposed to be around $100. But one of the pockets is smaller than the other. Have had this jacket for 8 years now. Diamonds. Everyone thinks they are rare. They are not. 4. One time I came across a vein of 8 at YLVL14. Not rare at all. I don't see what all the fuss is about. Vlone. Supreme. Bape. It's all just hype and half the stuff looks lazy. Prescription glasses. People like Luxottica own so much that they inflate the prices of all glasses. Try to avoid feeding the giant and don't assume that other cheaper options are of lower quality. I've gotten my last 4 pairs of glasses over the last few years from Zenni online for about $20 each. I could never afford prescription sunglasses. Got some from Zenni for $60. I love them. I'm nearsighted and have an astigmatism, and the prescription has always been perfect. They are surprisingly resilient and they have a huge selection of super cute frames. I've only ever had to replace them when I needed a stronger prescription. Highly recommend. Only downside is that they take about a month to come in the mail. Get an eye exam at Walmart and stop paying hundreds on glasses. Pandora. Do people still wear that crap? Yep. A shit ton of Midwestern moms and grandmas. It's honestly real handy. Grab a bead. Write a little story reason for why you got them that one. Wrap it up. And done. Bonus points if you look at the cheapest ones. Have your toddler poke at them until they pick one. And then give it to grandma as the bead X picked out for you all by themselves. Most name brand over-the-counter drugs. Look at the active ingredients. Is it the same as the cheaper store brand one? Then it's the same damn thing. Compare active ingredients. Excedrin. Extra strength. https://www. Excedrin.com products extra strength. $17 for 200. Excedrin. Migraine. https://www. Excedrin.com products migraine. $17 for 200. Equate extra strength headache relief. https://www. Walmart.com Ipequate extra strength headache relief acetaminophen caplets 250 mg 200 count /41,172,978. $4 for 200. Maserati. This one isn't high enough. Their lineup is so outmatched by everything else in the price range, and the interiors have parts bin pieces from Jeep and Chrysler. And while no sports cars are made to be Toyota reliable, the last few years of Maserati has been abysmal. The Levante does sound incredible though. Harley Davidson. Everyone I know who has a HD motorcycle says it's always down and in the shop. My dad wanted a Harley for years. He finally got one after he found a decent price on a used one. He rode it for like a month and was like, I want to love it. but it runs like shit and feels like a piece of crap. Victoria's Secret. I only buy it because I work there and get an associate discount. And discounted free items monthly. But if not, I would never shop there. Their quality completely went to shit. I have bras that I bought from there close to a decade ago that are actually still in great condition despite being worn a decent amount. I got a gift card I used on a new bra last year. And it already has a tear on the side. Also bought a few pairs of underwear from there recently that wore faster than similar styles you'd find at much cheaper stores. They used to be all I'd ever buy because their sizes were consistent and they would last. Now it seems like everything they make is cheap. 99% of audio engineering plugins are only worth purchasing when they go on sale. And usually they go on sale from extravagant MSRP prices like $200 plus down to like $40 or $30 on Mayo.